Hello and welcome to the Crookedrivercat. I am Robert, your host, and joining me every week is my friend Tom to help us keep track and stay in front of some of what is going on in Northeast Ohio. This is show 25. Woohoo! 25 shows, September 7th, 2025. It's another week. It's another show, so let's go. In the morning, Tom.
Robert, welcome home.
Thank you. Yes, for all those out there in podcast land, I had a week of travel. And,
was it fun?
Generally speaking, it was. But getting there and getting back, always could always be an adventure.
You flew, right?
I did fly. We flew Delta, which I've never flown Delta before, surprisingly enough.
I heard there's some people that don't fly anything but.
And I could see why, actually.
Yeah, cool.
They seemed just a little different than the other, maybe Frontiers or the Uniteds and stuff like that. I think the attitude seemed to be different. Their boarding process was very smooth, and they had one thing that I love, which are what they call Comfort Plus seats.
A little extra legroom?
Yes. So
nice.
we had, unfortunately, the only problem with going from Cleveland to Jacksonville, where we had to fly into, was no direct flights out of Cleveland, which is wonderful to fly for an hour, land, to fly again for 45 minutes and land.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like literally hour 15, hour and 20 minutes from Cleveland to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta to Jacksonville is like 45 minutes. Airtime.
Right.
So that's always like, but Comfort Plus. So most of the planes we had, we weren't first class. We were first class adjacent, which means we were the very next seat behind first class, because they still have a first class in Delta. They actually have the first class, and then the first, I would say 6 or 8 rows behind first class are probably 4 or 5 extra inches of legroom. You pay a little bit more. Yeah, they actually set the plane up this way. I didn't notice this until the last plane. We were in the last row of the Comfort Plus, they call them. And when I look back, I was like, holy cow, that's like 4 or 5 inches.
Oh, they must have lost 6 seats doing this. What would they do?
Yeah, they charge you more. Charge you like $75 more for the seat.
Yeah, well,
and for me,
you tall people,
it's well worth it. Yes.
Yeah.
It's still not quite great because, still sitting for 2 hours. But one thing that it may not have been designed for, it's designed for longer people, not necessarily wider people.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And I've never experienced this before. I've always, like, sorry people, one of my worst fears on a plane is when I'm I never take the middle seat. I'm waiting for one day I get on a plane and somebody very large tries to squeeze in next to me. So I didn't have that this time, but I did have the 2 seats in front, and in the next row, I noticed this very large woman who got on the plane. And I'm like, wow, hope she has 2 seats.
The messed up thing is, if you had a bag that was 5 pounds over, you'd have to pay.
Or a bag that's
didn't have
too big.
Pardon me? Yeah.
Or a bag that's too big.
Exactly. The too big thing is fine, but the extra 5 pounds is like, wait a minute.
Yeah. If you go over 50 pounds, they charge you with an extra fee. I mean, they charge you to check a bag to begin with.
Right.
So I'm watching her get on and try to get on the plane, and she takes the aisle seat.
That makes sense.
Spills into the aisle. It does make sense, except if you remember when they run that drink cart, it takes the entire aisle. I mean, there's maybe an inch on each side of the aisle between the seats between the drink cart and your armrest on a plane. And she was spilled over. She was I didn't measure it, of course, but it was at least 3 to 4 or 5 inches into the aisle. On top of that, there was a woman that was not quite as large, but still spilling over a little bit into the aisle directly across from her. So I'm like, what are they going to do? I was on the plane with my wife, but I had a friend and a customer that was also on the plane. He was actually more forward than us. He got first class because he's big time. But no, he flies a lot, so he gets a lot of points. And I took a picture and sent him. We're waiting the taxi. I said, how am I going to get my Coke? How's the drink cart going to get down? And brought up a very good counterpoint to that. He just texted back, evacuation, question mark?
Well, where were the doors?
Yes, that's what I said. I'm going back. I know the doors are behind me now. I just know that because...
it's like an hourglass.
Yeah. It is. You got to sneak. So as everybody's walking on a plane, they're all like, oops, sorry. Oops, sorry. Oops, sorry. And then as they walked past me, I was like 2-3 seats back. They're all mumbled to themselves. And usually in a couple different languages. Like, oh my gosh. So I'm interested in what they're going to do. What are they going to do with this woman? And actually, there's a woman across from her. And I actually looked over to the left of me, and the seats to the left of me and the other across the aisle were completely empty, which you rarely see in planes anymore. You rarely see any more than 1 or 2 empty seats, let alone a whole row. They really packed those planes. Well, what they ended up doing was, first of all, the stewardess took a lot of precaution to sneak the belt extension to her, as though not to embarrass her, because
she's already done that.
I was going to say, because no one can notice that she's 4 inches spilling over, and that's only a quarter of her thigh that was spilling over into the aisle. Sorry, I'm not trying to fat shame. It's like, what do you?
No. We need to fat shame.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm sorry. You're right. That was kind of my point to this whole thing is she nonchalantly and snuck the extension to her, not to shame her, which, well, to your point, thank you for correcting me. Yes, we need more shame, because one of the reasons she might be so big is because no one's ever said, hey, how about put the fork down? Just put it down.
Take a walk.
Just put the fork down. It's okay. So what happened? They allowed them to move to other seats that were empty.
Of course.
So which is fine, I guess.
Yeah.
What would you have done if the plane was full? What they had done? Because you've seen videos of people like freaking out because the airlines, you have somebody in the middle seat who the aisle person is spilling over into their seat, and the airlines are just like, yeah, deal with it. Like, no, you should buy 2 seats. That's really what they used to do. They used to make you buy 2 seats.
They did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if there was another seat available, they would make you buy another seat, or you have to leave the plane.
Right.
I mean, this is probably many years ago, but not anymore.
You are spending. I mean, the airline's spending more on gas, I would think.
Yeah, and they're making other customers uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun to watch.
And they're slowing down my drink.
Yeah, the good thing is the drink cart was able to get up and down the aisle.
Yeah.
I was happy about that, at least. So, again, if you get kicked off the plane enough times, maybe you'll take a walk or 2. And I'm not sure about you, Tom, but I didn't get one winning Powerball number in my ticket.
Oh, I'm not even sure what our tickets.
I had to buy one. I was leaving the airport, and my friend bought one. And I was like, well, now I have to buy one, because if you win... Or if, so I bought, I spent $10 and didn't get one number. So that just reinforces why I don't play. But there is a couple winners, I hear.
Oh, was there?
I heard quickly this morning somewhere in Minnesota or Missouri, I think maybe, and Texas.
Oh, okay.
As usual, there'll be like 20 winners, and they'll only get like 20 or 30 million. That's it.
I can live on that.
And just so everybody should really keep track of these people and come back in 5 years, they're all going to be bankrupt. Virtually every single one of them.
That doesn't happen as often anymore. Yeah. No, people have kind of figured it out. Not everybody, but
some.
But I think the last person, I don't know if it was $1 billion, but it was way up there. Somebody in California, and boy, he went bankrupt like in 5 years or something like that. He just bought a bunch of houses that were like $30-40 million a piece, and I guess he didn't realize how much it costs to maintain them.
Oh my gosh, yeah, a house like that. Jeez.
The taxes, let alone maintaining. I mean, I would think those were like $20,000-$30,000 a month, just in taxes. Let alone having a crew there taking care of your property.
Just the landscaping alone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's got to be $10,000 a month on a house that big. You know, you got to have 2 or 3 people, right? Depending on how big your property is and stuff, all that.
No, I just saw, they did there was a special on one of the that's subscription-based type of things. Oh. And it might have been on YouTube, actually. But anyways, yeah, the properties weren't, they were at least a few acres, if not more. But
they're usually elaborate. Like the landscaping is very, you got a $20 million house, you have a very pretty landscaping. All that takes a lot of time.
This wasn't a row of abrovite.
No.
This was like, there was a lot of maintenance there.
Yeah, there's a lot of shapes they like to cut in and twist all this and all that stuff. That costs money. But yeah, that's the heating, just the general maintenance, the things that break in a $30 million house. It's got to be a lot.
But even if you're not living there full time, you still need a full time or at least a partial crew to go in there full time. You need
a house sitters, and they can be expensive. House sitters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no lottery for us. I am a lottery loser, just like most out there. Lottery loser.
Yeah. Well,
it's okay. Took a chance.
It was too much money, as my father puts it.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I really don't know what he means by that. It was too much money. He's like, I could buy Parma.
Oh, yeah, maybe 2 times over.
And I'm like sitting there going, I don't know if I would buy Parma.
Bad investment.
Yeah, not a good one.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by 2. I only think it's too much money because it attracts way more people, so your odds go down. That's why I look at it. Maybe that's what he was thinking.
Nah, I think he's just kidding.
Joking. Oh.
Yeah, he's just kidding. But
that's what I thought. When they get that big, I'm like, ugh. Just now the odds are way worse than they ever were.
Yeah, but they're terrible anyway. So might as well just go spend your $10 or whatever.
1 in 6 million or 1 in 8 million. Oh, geez.
I think it's even worse than
way
that.
more than that. Yeah, it's like 100 million, 1 in 100 million or something crazy. 1 in a trillion. Hey, so good news for everybody listening to the show is we're going to keep going because we did not win the lottery.
Yeah, our exit strategy did not work out this past week.
It failed. So we had to continue on with this one. Not paying quite as well, though. It pays in satisfaction.
I might be able to get abrovite.
Oh.
Not a row of.
Just one.
Yes. Like a 2-footer.
Yeah. Well, they're like $60, It's
2-footer. Okay, and then I have to go with like the 6-inch of the seedlings.
The seedlings. All right, enough of this nonsense. Let's get on to the news of the week. The stories we picked. I was traveling, but I still got to go through some stories, and we got a couple ones that were at least the first one here is pretty interesting to me. So here's the headline: ICE takes Cleveland father after he enters the U.S. legally through now paused program. That's
Cleveland father.
Taken.
Sort of like Maryland man.
Yes. Cleveland father, Maryland man. Very similar. I like how taken is great, is a great, that would be an adjective or adverb or whatever. I fell asleep in most of my English classes, so forgive me. I got, of course, News Channel 5, who else, but is not, I'm sorry, people, not Morgan Trowell. I apologize. I don't think we have him for anything this week, which is sad. It's very sad. Let's hear what News Channel 5 has to say about this Cleveland father.
A family torn apart. Immigration officers took Alex Miljan, a Cleveland father, from his home in front of his children. Tonight, his family and church say that Alex followed the rules. He came here legally through a government program that's now been put on pause.
Which program?
News 5's Elizabeth Van Mitri reports.
Since July 15th, Alex Miljan has been locked behind bars. ICE agents put him there, arresting Miljan at his Cleveland home while his family watched.
I remember getting a phone call where I was told that Alex had been taken.
Wait, hold on. I guess you got a phone call? Huh. Well,
you mean they didn't batter ram the door down and take him?
Yeah. Did he get one? Did he? If he got the phone call, first thing that came to my mind is this, Tom. Let's hear this.
They're going to take you.
Jim, stay focused, baby. This is key.
You will have 5, maybe 10 seconds. Very important seconds.
Leave the phone on the floor. Concentrate.
Shout out everything you see about them. Hair color.
Eye color, tall, short, scars.
Anything you see, you understand? They're there. I can hear them.
Remember, concentrate.
I'm thinking it went something like that. Probably not, though. Okay,
No.
We'll continue. But remember, he was taken, not arrested. Taken.
At his home, in front of his children.
You can't forget that home.
Had been taken at his home, in front of his children.
Yep.
And after just dropping off his wife at work.
For the
Today,
children.
faith leaders gathered demanding this to end.
This is enough. We don't want to see families separated.
Mijan came here legally from a Biden administration program called a CBP-1, a mobile app created to give migrants fleeing violence, especially from Venezuela, a safe and legal way to schedule appointments at the border. The program allowed them to enter the U.S. while waiting for a judge to decide if it's safe to send them back.
It's also important to understand that Alex's story is not an isolated one. There are families all over our community, our state, our country who are going through a very similar kind of suffering.
But the federal program is now on pause.
Suffering.
Supporters say Alex is stuck in limbo.
Alex came from Venezuela because he felt that it was dangerous for him in Venezuela for political reasons. And right now, he's a prisoner in America for political reasons, which is a little bit ironic.
Ohio State Representative Gary Click does.
Wait, he's here for political reasons? He's now being in prison for political reasons, or because something changed, maybe? Oh, it's just because, well, it's because he's Mexican. Venezuelan, excuse me. Continue. Anyway.
Doesn't know the details of Mijan's story, but notes that if he's now here illegally, that should be addressed.
While we welcome our immigrants, we want our immigrants to come in legally. There's a front door and there's a back door. We want them to come in the front door.
Mijan's future rests in the hands of a judge this November. Not to decide if he can stay in the U.S., but if it's safe for him to be sent back to Venezuela.
He would get asked about his story. ICE would have a chance to cross-examine him, and the judge would basically decide if they believe that it would be dangerous for him to return to Venezuela because of his political opinion.
Until then, Mijan waits behind bars. His family waits at home. A community waits for answers. For News 5, I'm Elizabeth Van Mitri.
So what you're saying is he's actually getting the due process that he should have gotten when he first came in the country instead of 4 or 5 years later.
He came in through the Biden back door.
I challenge that. That's why I pulled this story moved it up to the top. Look at that picture, Tom. Have you seen the picture in the story?
The one
with him and his family.
Yeah.
How old are those kids? How would you say?
I don't. There's 3 kids there.
There's 3 girls. Looks like.
Yeah, I would say the oldest is, I don't know, 10,
6, 8. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When was Biden president?
Well, he didn't have to come here with them.
How did he make them?
Yeah, you're right. Wait. Oh, yeah. Well, when did they come over? Did they come here after him?
Questions I have. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't tell you anything.
I don't know. I tried to do a search on when this guy got in the country. There's no other articles, but
I'd like to know what he was doing for a living. They don't mention anything where he worked, what he did.
When he came to the country?
This family's dressed fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
They're celebrating, it looks like a birthday party or something.
My thought is
he's a little overly groomed.
He did not come here during the Biden administration. He applied for asylum during the Biden administration.
Gotcha.
That's my feeling. That's not the way they say it in the clip or in this article. They say he came here under
the CBP-1. It was a mobile app created to give migrants fleeing violence a legal way to schedule appointments. So when was his appointment? They don't tell you that either. So it's
We're
a
just
way
speeding up they're just doing him a favor by speeding up his appointment when they take him.
Well, I guess so. Yeah. Right.
So it says he came to the U.S. through CBP-1, a Biden administration mobile app created to give migrants fleeing, like you said, but he came to the U.S. through the CBP1 app. Does not say he came during that time. He just came there through the app. So when he was in he was in Venezuela, and he downloaded the app, and then the app transformed him through the app, transported him into America. That's how he got here. No, I believe he was here already. How else do you have kids that are 7 or 8 years old if you came here during the Biden administration, and that was 4 years ago? At max, 4 years ago. Because this program didn't start in 2020 even. It probably started in 21 or 22 by the time everything gets rolling.
Are they going to why didn't they take her and the kids?
I mean, why would you want to separate families? I would imagine she's a legal citizen. That would be my guess. Otherwise, they would have taken her too.
Did he come here and meet her here, maybe?
Why? I mean, Tom, these are details that we don't need to know as little people. The little people, we don't need to know this. Just read the headline and move on.
Cleveland father taken.
Cleveland father taken is all you need to know about this story. Is all they want you to know about this story.
Just like Maryland man deported.
Yes. And just in case there was one, they're not debating on whether he's going to leave or not. They're debating on whether Venezuela is the place to send him or not. That's what they said. Not whether he's going to be deported or whether Venezuela is safe. So he comes in, this is part of the problem. They come to the United States, they claim asylum. And during the Trump administration, one of the biggest things he changed the first term was that waiting period for asylum was done in Mexico, not in America. And all of a sudden, all the crossings went to almost zero back in 2018 or whatever, 2017, after this was enacted.
It was very low.
Very low. Basically, in comparison, it was virtually zero when you had, 5,000 a day to, 50. But during the Biden administration took that off. And now when you claim asylum, you get to wait in the United States, which is where you get all the people shipped to Springfield and Chicago and Columbus and all these other places, because they got to put them somewhere. And these are, you get 5,000 people a day crossing the border, plus all the people who come here legally under visas and then overstay their visas. What about all those people? So I think that's maybe the one way he came in here. He had a visitation visa and overstayed it. I don't know. But there's, I guess he could. I don't know. What other way is there?
Yeah, I tried looking him up. Just Googling him, and
there's somebody else with a similar name. It's
there's a few. It seems like a common name.
Yeah,
I couldn't find any info on who this person was. So
there was something. Milan's family and legal team. He has a legal team, Tom.
Not bad for a
poor illegal immigrant. I like to keep this, we can keep tabs on this, like a lot of things we've been doing. The community is looking for prayers and answers. Waiting and praying for answers is what I'm praying for answers too. When did this guy get here? Give me some freaking details, Channel 5.
We need Morgan Frau on the job.
Yes, that's the problem. Morgan was not on that's the problem. Clone her. Immediately clone her.
And she doesn't deal with this stuff. It's just
it's Columbus. Yeah, she's their Columbus critter reporter. That's why she's not. But again, questions need to be answered, and unfortunately, our crappy media is not asking the answers that need to be.
No, they're just pushing a narrative.
Yeah. He was taken. Love that. All right. So again, we'll, question with boldness. Question with boldness. And if you think we got it wrong on that story, any story, subscribe or not subscribe. If you think we're wrong on that story, any other story, send us an email, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. If you like the show, subscribe. If you know other people who would benefit or enjoy the show, share them with your friends, share them with your family. Really appreciate listening, and anything you could do to help grow the show, we again would very much appreciate it. So, CrookedRivercast.com. All right, moving along. Next, we're going to move over to some Congress critters talk. So the tax reform has moved into another level. So Citizens for Tax Reform has started started a whole, they've really stirred the pot with this. And with the threat of losing property tax, Columbus is listening, and they're trying to do some stuff.
That scares me.
I know it does. I think they're scared because they're afraid they're going to lose this tax. They're going to lose the ability to tax people to no end, in my opinion. So the GOP is trying to save property tax with what they're calling the Taxpayer Freedom Trilogy. It's 3 bills that they're trying to put together and package together. I think one of them is from, I don't know if they're all from the same Representative Gary Click, who was actually referenced in the ICE video. He was the one they got a clip from. So it's 3 bills. It's House Bill 420.
Yay.
Giggity. House Bill 421 and House Bill 422. It would seem, they're all kind of sponsored by different people, it looks like. So House Bill 420 is discontinuing the continuum. It is a joint sponsored by Representative Bernie Willis, Republican of Springfield. House Bill 420 serves as Act 1 in the trilogy. Continuing levies have been beginning a beginning to the end, to no end. I can read. You know what? How about this? I'll go to the clip. Just go to the clip. Travel gets to me. There you go. Let's just check News Channel 5, Tax Trilogy, and then they go through 3 bills, and we will add any context that we need that they probably left out. So there's a couple things here. Let's check it out.
We've been telling you about a growing share of Ohioans who want property taxes to be eliminated.
Some state lawmakers are now pushing for more changes. Mike Holden joins us live with more on this proposal and how it could impact you.
Guys, good morning to you. It is called the Taxpayer Freedom Trilogy. Once again, Taxpayer Freedom Trilogy. And it's technically 3 separate bills, but they're all packaged together. The focus is overhauling property taxes, and officials who support this measure say we should not be paying for things like levies that we're stuck in, wondering where our money is going, not seeing any sort of result that personally benefits us. So let's boil it down a little further this morning. Ohio Republican State Rep Gary Click, you see him right here, of the 88th District, is one of the lawmakers spearheading this Taxpayer Freedom Trilogy. The goal of the 3 bills is to try to overhaul Ohio's property tax system. The first bill would eliminate never-ending tax levies and introduce vote-based renewals. They'd be wiped out ultimately by 2030. The second bill would allow voters to reduce the amount of property tax local governments can push for without voter approval. And the third bill would adjust the voter approval threshold for different sizes of new levies. Representative Click says property tax reform is a huge issue in Ohio, and he says residents deserve transparency. He says there has been unnecessary government overreach, and voters should not be forced to break their bank on things they have no say in.
The mantra from the beginning of our nation was no taxation without representation. It wasn't no taxation. It was no taxation without representation. And every generation deserves to have a voice in the taxes that they pay. They deserve to know how much they're paying, why they're paying it, and what good it's doing.
He further says that voters should have more say in voting on, blocking, approving, and removing taxes. This is clearly not a done deal just yet. It was just introduced back on August 25th, Mike. So we are going to follow the legislative process, follow through it, and continue to track the impacts on so many voters across the state.
Yeah, Mike, obviously none of us want to pay more in property taxes, but opponents of the bill are saying that it could have a negative effect here.
For the children.
Yeah, I mean, they're furious about it because they say, how are you going to support public education? How are you going to assist local fire departments as well as services that involve public safety like police departments? How do you allocate more funds when you're kind of getting rid of all of those levies?
What do we do?
Again, this is very preliminary at this point. But we're going to check in with both sides, continue to follow through, and we'll let you know how it all shakes out.
Taxes, always a hot topic.
Yeah.
Mike Loud this morning for us in Cleveland. Yeah. Thank you.
Taxes, always a hot topic.
These 3 House bills won't do anything.
Well, I don't know if we could say they won't do anything.
Well, they're not going to lower your taxes.
I think they are something. I think all of them have some good stuff to them. I believe it's smoke and mirrors.
Well, they're trying to say they're doing something, but
Yes.
you're not going to see an effect in your tax bill or your property tax bill.
So here's a couple things that, well, probably not much, if any. Yes, I do agree. But I think a lot of these are things that have to be addressed, but would be addressed by limiting property taxes. So there's one bill would take care of all of this. Just get rid of the property tax. The first one, 420, that I was trying to get through, is basically these continuing levies. You have a continuing levy, and there's people that are paying for like levies that are from that their parents passed 30 years earlier, because the continuing levy never ends.
I'm guilty of this as well, where you go into a vote and there's a levy and it says they're not raising taxes, they're just continuing it. So in your head, you just sit there and go, well, I'm not going to be spending any more. Okay, we need this, I guess.
Yes.
So it's almost a way to trick people into continuing things,
right?
Because you're already spending it, so you don't feel like you're adding on to the massive bill already.
Right. I like to tell people, yes, you're right. But it's not going to increase my my bills or my tax bill. I said, yes, but voting for it will give yourself a tax cut. And they all go, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it never happens. It never fails. Like a continuing tax levy never fails. I've never seen one fail, at least around here.
Yes, those are usually the easiest one to get past, like you said, because people are like, well, it's not going to cost me anymore. I'm already paying it, so let's just keep it going. Which I get, but also you're also thinking. I'm thinking the other way, like, how do I cut my taxes? Oh, by voting for this, voting against. That's the first. House Bill 421 addresses the inside millage that they can. So there's 10 mills that all counties can tax you without your approval. There's a floor that they can go up to 10 millage of taxes, and without any levy being passed or any bill being put on the ballot or anything like that. And they want to have the ability to address that millage in cases where they don't need it. Let's have somebody else look at how much you actually need, and can we lower this automatic tax? Basically a tax without representation, because they can increase it, lower it without the citizen saying anything.
Yeah, it's a way for them. It's a way for them to tax you without going back to you and asking for it.
Right. So when there's a levy that I think I was wrong on originally, but if there are levies that are obviously based on your house value, and as your house value goes up, they do lower the levy with to cover the peaks of your property value going up, but there's a floor, and you can't touch below that 10 millage. So they want that to change. This is the third piece.
I like the third piece.
Yeah, the third piece is actually interesting. So it adjusts voter approval thresholds for new levies, requiring broader consensus for large tax hikes. Levies under 1 mil would continue to require a simple majority, so over 50%.
I still think that they should just get rid of that and make everything anything over 2 mil is.
Yeah, so basically 1 point. Yeah, so then the next one is 1 mil to 1.9 requires 60% majority. So you think that it should be 0 to 1.9 should be a 60% majority.
Yeah,
doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. 55 maybe. I mean, if you want to have a scale.
Yeah, from 1 mil to 1.9 mils would be 60% majority, and those 2 mils and higher would need a 66% majority.
Yeah, I like that. That makes sense to me. That means an overwhelming majority of the people want.
But they got to that 66 number specifically because 66% of homes in Ohio are owner occupied.
Exactly.
Which means 34% of the voters can currently raise other people's taxes, but not their own, in a way, because it does end up getting passed on to you in your rent.
A little bit, but not to the extent the owner gets.
And it's
hammered.
delayed, yes, and it's usually delayed. Doesn't happen immediately and all this other stuff. So, yeah, and they even around Ohio State, in Columbus. I think Vivek was saying this. I think one of his things that we brought up, I think we played the clip. He mentioned, there's some people that they go to college, 20-year-old going to college at Ohio State will vote for a levy, and then a year and a half, 2 years later, he's gone. They're gone. Yeah.
The other thing about the renter thing, don't forget the renting is based often on the market, so that can go up and down. I know technically it affects the amount somebody pays, but the homeowner's getting dicked on that.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, especially big apartment complexes, stuff like that.
Yeah,
you sign leases. If you sign a multi-year lease, and you can't really raise. I mean, clauses everywhere, but there's also those. The landlord is kind of handcuffed as when they can increase rent. So they could go a year or two with higher property taxes before they can even try to increase it.
And that goes for business locations too, I would think, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Property taxes. Yep. Yeah, businesses renting a place. Building, yeah. If you want your building, full, you're probably not going to be raising the rent too much.
Yeah, because you have to compete with people who maybe don't. Somebody's not going to raise it to try to.
Yeah, it depends on the market. It depends how many renters there are. How many available units?
Right. Yep. Market supply and demand, as they say. That's what they're trying to do. I think they're just running scared, and they're trying, like we said at the beginning, they're trying to get something done to push against the Citizens for Property Tax Reform, for the abolishment ballot that is currently getting signatures. That's what I think, and I guess thank you to the Citizens for Property Tax Reform for at least getting them to move this much. We haven't seen this much movement. I don't remember ever.
I think it's going to get crazy here in 2026.
Yes, especially if they get those when they get those signatures and the ballot gets approved. And I believe this is what but we're doing something. Look, no, don't need to go that far. It's very extreme, very extreme. But look what we're doing for you. Look at this bill, and everybody's going to go, okay.
Yeah, you know what? This all should have been done before escalation in property taxes. Over the last few years, or since house values shot up 30-40%. This is a little too late, in my opinion. I mean,
that's the complaint of the Citizens for Property Tax. 25 years and 3 or 4 Ohio Supreme Court rulings that property taxes, funding schools with property tax is unconstitutional, and they've virtually done nothing. I mean, I'm sure that you can have some politicians, pull this bill and that bill up, but whatever they didn't do anything, because property taxes are skyrocketing, and they haven't done anything until we pushed this hard. So I just want to thank the people.
People are in a bad position here. I mean, people are losing their homes. They're going to be losing their homes because of the property taxes. And I'm not talking about working people. I'm talking about people that are retired. You're on a fixed income, and all of a sudden your taxes go from like $3,500 a year to $5,500 a year. You're like, oh man, what are you going to do?
And for those who think you own your home when you're done paying for it, you actually don't, because the state will take it away from you if you stop paying taxes.
Yeah, we never own our home.
So who owns it? Maybe in Florida, when they don't have property tax. I don't think they do they?
No, they do. They don't have income tax.
They don't have income tax, that's right.
Yeah, they have property. No states have no income tax. There's a few that are just, I don't even know what you would call it. It's some type of income, or not income tax. I'm sorry. Property tax. There's a few states that have very minimal property tax.
Right. But even fewer that I would like to see how many states fund their schools through property tax. I would bet Ohio's probably one of the few
that fund their schools.
Yeah. Through property tax.
Really?
I would wonder. I mean, look at the problem you have with it. I mean, it's not a great system. I mean, can we?
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, can we look it up? I don't think so. I don't think there's that many. How many states fund?
I got it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. I've been typing. All states.
But all states. So all states.
All states do. Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, Ohio may be unique with a constitutional. It says in the Constitution in Ohio how schools should be funded. I mean, it's only been there for 200 years or whatever. It's not like they actually read it. So that's interesting.
Yeah, all states do. It's just a matter of how much do they take from. Like New Hampshire, property taxes account for more than 60% of the public school funding.
Okay.
Whereas in Hawaii, the single district receives no funding from property taxes in a single school district. You would really have to dig a little bit more. I mean, that's a lot of homework there, Rob.
Well, no, I'm shocked that there's that many. Why is Ohio having such a problem with it then?
New Hampshire, Nebraska, and Connecticut are the highest with 59%.
Wow.
Vermont, a very small portion, near zero, actually.
Fact check false.
Yeah. Every.
So why is such
Ohio's
the problem?
Pretty high.
Why is such the problem in Ohio then? Because of the percentage that's funded.
74%. So they're near the highest because the highest is.
That sounds like one of the highest. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, the property tax value. High property tax value districts often benefit from higher tax revenue, allowing them to fund their schools above the state minimum. In Ohio, for example, a district in a high value area received 74. So even Ohio is like different for all the districts. So if you live I would think if you live in Pepper Pike or something like that, you're going to be paying a little bit more. More of your money's going towards the school district.
Yeah. There's also more money there. Because the house values are much higher. Interesting.
And more percentage. So it's complicated. It's way too complicated.
Yeah. I think
if you think about it.
I think they like making it complicated.
Well, yeah, it keeps people from looking it up.
Yeah, it's too much trouble, and they just go,
You got to go to work. You got to take your kids to school. You got to help them with their homework. Then you got to mow the lawn, and then you got to do laundry, and then you got to cook dinner and all this stuff. And then you're going to sit there and worry about your property, how much of your property tax goes to schools. You're not even going to pay attention.
You're going to try to dig through that complicated mess. Kind of similar to a lot of things in life. You just make it so complicated, you just give up.
Mm-hmm.
Give up. Just keep going because too busy, too complicated. Nobody wants to think about it. And so that's why I say abolish it all and start all over again.
That sounds good to me.
Start all over. It doesn't mean we can't. And that's kind of the whole thing on this clip is like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We don't know what to do. If we can't tax your property, what are we going to do?
If we don't steal your money, we don't know what to do.
I don't know. I got an idea. How about I have a police tax? Police, fire, first responder tax. Then I got a road tax for my property. Let's break it out so that I can tell how much I'm paying for each service. Send me a bill. Again, why should each person on my street pay a different price for the same services?
Yeah, an itemized bill would be nice, right?
It'd be very nice. I'd like to see what you guys are spending and where.
How much of my money is going to the fire department?
That's never going to happen.
And if I do this to my house, can my bill go down? If I do some type of upgrade, fireproofing type of thing, or
there you go.
If I have an alarm system, can I pay a little less in taxes for the police?
I would. Yeah, I was just going to say you may actually want to pay. You may actually have to pay more because of all the false calls you get from the alarm system. But anyway.
Well, what if I don't?
I'm only kidding. I was just kidding because I think about actually they probably come to a house with I've had alarm systems.
So what about the Karen that calls the police on everybody? Shouldn't she be paying more?
Yeah, you should have X amount of calls every month. No, you shouldn't. But no, good points. But itemized bill, yes, for sure. Because how do I keep track of what you guys are doing?
I was just thinking about a previous show where we talked, there was an article about a woman who called the police department. She had the 911 department call her an idiot because she called 911 so often. It was over 300 times in a year.
Really?
I don't. Yeah, we oh, come on, Rob. We did it. We talked about that. She called. I forget how many thousand times in like a 5-year period. Eventually, they started calling her names or something like that.
For some reason, that rings a bell over a 5-year period. But yeah, you should get charged more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for charging the people who get rescued off of in the middle of nowhere when they get lost or stuck on a mountain. But I'm called crazy and mean when I say that. I think they would deter people from putting themselves in situations if they knew they had to pay to get rescued. But the argument is, but they wouldn't call if they knew they had to pay, so they die. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess it's a choice you have to make.
I don't know. You're gonna call if you.
Yeah, that's what they say. They say that they like. What I brought this up was what a rat hole we just got down. But the sub that went down to see the Titanic, Titan 2.
That was a billionaire.
I know. Why didn't they bill him?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
they had dozens of ships, hundreds and hundreds of people, the Coast Guard, all this stuff searching for it, millions and millions of dollars spent. So I brought up at the time, like, well, where's the bill? When are we going to send this guy a bill? There's a billionaire that passed away, him and his kid, plus the guy who owned the thing was a millionaire. They're like, oh, well, you can't because then they wouldn't call for help. Well, either way.
No, I think you're going to call for help. I think you're going to call for help.
Yeah. That's what I say too. Anywho, yeah, I don't like I said, I want more transparency on what you're doing with my money, and that this goes along with that. And I think abolishing it and starting all over again because it's so damn complicated. Even the people in Columbus don't know what the hell's going on. So that's what I say.
Oh, that's obvious.
That's completely obvious. Speaking of not knowing what's going on in Columbus, we have our next story, which is a follow-up to HB1. And if you don't remember what HB1 was, HB1 is also known as the bill that banned barring DEI programs on Ohio's public campuses. But the law had something else in there that I didn't even realize. The law also requires universities to end programs with fewer than 5 graduates per year. Ohio University announced Wednesday that it identified 36 programs that fall below the new threshold and plans to end 11 of them.
And they're all bullshit.
There are 36 programs all fall, but they're only going to end 11 of them.
Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry.
Yes, Bachelor of Arts in Chemistry.
Bachelor of Arts in Physics and Mathematics and Geological Sciences.
Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics.
Bachelor of Fine Arts in Interdisciplinary Arts.
Bachelor of Arts in Physics.
Yeah.
So they just took chemistry, geology, math, and physics and put arts in front of it and made a new bachelor degree. So because it costs more money. If you want to go for another degree, it costs extra. We need all these little classes and this and that. Was the other thing? A Bachelor of Fine Arts in this was my favorite. Bachelor of Fine Arts in Interdisciplinary Arts. So you got a Bachelor of Fine Arts in interdisciplinary arts. Wow. Associate of Individual Studies.
Yeah, no, it's retarded stuff.
Associate's degree, and what would you go to school for? Individual Studies. Oh, okay. So I mean, college is definitely not a scam, people. Definitely not a scam at this point. So that was a little added thing to the bill was anything with any public university that has fewer than 5 graduates needs to end the program. My question is, what about the other 25?
The curriculum cultivates critical thinking. I'm sorry. I've never seen anybody with an arts degree critically think. Well, I won't say that, but
That doesn't happen very often.
No.
Yes. I don't know what else to say to this, but yay! Cut them. Cut them. You shouldn't go to school, a 4-year degree for, I don't know, Chinese history and come out and expect a job. So good. This is more of the scam that they needed. I'm just searching. I don't think there's anything else. 7 of the programs will hopefully continue, they're saying.
There's loopholes.
Yes, as the university has submitted waivers to the state asking for exceptions because the programs offer something unique or cater to workforce or curriculum needs.
The other thing is, this is Ohio University. And they got Bachelor of Arts in Theater, Bachelor of Arts in Music, in Voice, Bachelor of Music in Piano, Bachelor of Music in Organ. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the school you go to for a Bachelor of Music degree.
These are like add-on. It's like impulse buying at the grocery store. That's what this is. That's what this is.
I don't know.
I need some more credit hours. Okay, click. I'll check these things, and I'll get some credit hours. And then you got to buy books, and you got to buy this. I'm just looking through all Bachelor of Arts in Geography. It's like literally, they just put Bachelor of Arts in front of all this other Bachelor of Arts of African American Studies, Bachelor of Arts in Geography in Geographic Information Science. Like these are all the programs they hope to continue because there are there's particular curriculum that could be, what did they say? Oh, could be something unique or catered to workforce or curricular needs. So which one of these apply to workforce needs? The Bachelor of Music and Instrumental Performance? Probably.
Bachelor's of Science in Education in Spanish Education.
Wow. Man, I didn't know they get this specific. This is like...
So, but to be fair, this is less than 5 a year.
Yes. Yes.
So that could be 0.
Yes. A lot of these could be there could be nobody applying for them. So yeah, they're saying a lot of these changes won't happen until next semester, yada, yada, yada. So
you think the school is like happy about this actually? Because it's less. It makes it easier for them.
Maybe, but why they put them up to begin with? If
you had a couple students that wanted something like that, they started and then they can't end it.
I wonder if there's some battle between college to college on how many courses they offer.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, sure.
We offer more courses than blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Maybe. To me, it just looks like something else that your kid wants. Mom, I need to take the Bachelor of Arts in African American Studies, and it's only going to cost me $4,000 more, Mom.
It looks good in their promotional material that they send out to students.
That's the other thing. You have all these Bachelor of Arts degrees, and it looks good for, good point on that. But so they're hoping that some of these they'll get a waiver for, and I'm saying, no, cut them all because they seem ridiculous to me. They seem ridiculous. Actually, they seem. I got a new clip, Tom. Come on, really? You think? What are you going to do with a Bachelor of Arts in Geography in Geographic Information Science? What do you think? I think this might work.
You big dummy!
Come on, you big dummy! I thought he used to say "shut up, you big dummy." I couldn't find that clip anywhere. I wonder if they took out the "shut up" part.
I don't know.
I saw a shirt over the last week with that in it. It just had Red Fox's face with some colors behind it. It said "big dummy" under it. I thought that was awesome. It reminded me of that show.
That was a great show.
Yeah, great show. Good. I will probably pull some more clips from that because there's some good stuff in there. All right, so on to the next one. Canceling 11 degrees. They need to cancel another 18 or 20. Keep going. Next on our list for today. Have you ever heard of Kratom, Tom?
I never heard of it until today.
Yeah, I never heard of it until I saw this story. And apparently whenever DeWine hears about something new, he thinks we should ban it because he wants to ban Kratom. And I said, well, what the hell is Kratom? Well, let's hear what, of course, News Channel 5 has to say about Kratom.
Welcome back to News 5 at 11. I'm Rob Powers. Governor Mike DeWine is calling for a ban on a substance used all around the world. Supporters say it's a safe alternative to alcohol, but the governor calls it an imminent threat to the public. News 5's Kaylee Olivas explains the controversy over kratom.
Kratom can be used as an alternative to alcohol, but Governor Mike DeWine says the substance does more harm than good, demanding a ban.
Oh, I was very surprised because I didn't see this coming.
Since 2022, the Sacred Waters Kava Bar has been operating on safe vibes and teas from around the world that have substances mixed in them like natural kratom.
For us, a small drink would be 3.5 grams of kratom. For people that don't understand, it's, I think, a safe alternative to alcohol or marijuana or any other substances that are out there.
Kratom is not approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for consumption or medical use, though. It's also not regulated in Ohio. Piggybacking off those two facts, Governor Mike DeWine called on the state's Board of Pharmacy on Tuesday to immediately deem kratom illegal, saying, quote, "There is no accepted medical use for kratom in Ohio, and it is an imminent public health risk." Adding that preliminary data from the Ohio Department of Health reveals more than 200 unintentional kratom overdose deaths from 2019 to 2024.
We're in a world right now where we really don't know enough about this particular substance.
Not only is Anita Somani a state representative, but she's also a practicing OBGYN. We asked her thoughts on kratom being used in drinks.
I think the biggest difference between kratom and some of the other medications that we've seen is that the effects, the side effects of it, are very dose dependent. So at low doses, it has a stimulant effect.
She says higher doses can cause hallucinations, sometimes making people more violent or even hostile.
I think that's something that maybe requires or should be more regulated. If we don't regulate it, then people who are taking it, from the black market or illegally may not realize that the dosing that they're getting or the amount that they're getting.
She also fears kratom bought off the streets will be laced, causing even more deaths. 2 bills attempting to regulate kratom have been brought up in both chambers of the state capitol, but neither succeeded.
Research is very important. Legislation is important, and that just takes time.
The State Pharmacy Board was set to meet on Wednesday to make an emergency move to prohibit kratom, but it was canceled, and no reason as to why has been provided. Michael Young, a partner at the Kava Bar, sees the cancellation as a good sign.
Governor DeWine made the right decision to kind of step back from their plan and learn a little bit more about it.
There is currently no pending legislation that deals with kratom, but at least one legislator says they're interested in drafting a bill that pushes for more research and regulation rather than a ban. We'll, of course, continue to follow through. For News 5, I'm Kaylee Olivas.
Hey, what happens when they usually regulate something? Especially a substance.
Well,
because when I hear regulation, I hear tax.
Yeah.
I hear tax. We can't tax it. We got to tax it. It's not regulated, which means we can't tax it.
I can't have an opinion on this at all because I haven't heard anything good about it. Like, I haven't heard anyone arguing for it. I've just heard of it. Like, there are things in the health world that FDA hasn't approved, and they're trying to fight. And but there's so much evidence of it being good that I tend to sit there and go, well, what the hell are you doing? It, to me, it's just the pharmaceutical companies push for outlawing this stuff because they won't make no money off of it.
Right.
So is this the same? I don't know, because I haven't heard anyone argue for it. There have been overdoses, but they didn't tell you anything about those overdoses. Were those people sick? I don't know. It's a drug I'm not familiar with.
Sure. When I run into, I don't know much about it either, other than people are drinking it all over the world.
Are they?
That's what the report says. It's a substance used all over the world. They said it's a natural substance. I don't think it's like something like meth or where they have to create it. So I lean towards I can't put what I want in my own body.
I don't think they should ban it or regulate it, but I think DeWine's kind of overstepping his.
Yes, that's my point of this whole thing. Is I don't know what it is. Ban it.
Yeah, well, that's what he does with everything.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Ban it. I don't want it. Ban
he
it.
Doesn't. He does that with everything except taxes.
Yeah, he loves taxes. Can't ban taxes without putting more taxes in before you ban those taxes. Yes, that's the line. To me, I'm very much a. I don't think drugs should be illegal.
The only thing it's weird is like you can definitely become physically dependent on kratom.
Like you can on alcohol and cigarettes.
Well, okay, you got a point there.
Vicodin.
You do have a point. Well, Vicodins, you need prescription.
Sure.
So that's regulated.
Sure. Yes, but okay. It's okay if you're on Vicodin because it's regulated and prescribed. No, what I mean is like it. If you test positive at a job for Vicodin, you're fine, right? But test positive for marijuana and you're in trouble because it was signed by a doctor and prescribed by a pharmaceutical company, or vice versa, whatever.
Right.
That's what I mean. I get that it's regulated and there's a reason it's regulated because it's nasty shit. But I don't think that I'm for just legalize all the drugs, in my opinion, because what I put in my body is up to me. That's kind of where I fall in.
Legalize or decriminalize?
What's the difference? I mean, I think I know
when
the
they
difference,
legalize it, they can regulate it.
Okay.
If this has similar effects that alcohol does, and you can overdose on it, should it be behind the counter?
Can you overdose on alcohol?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's regulated and there's a age limit and all this other stuff.
Right. That's what I mean.
It's completely legal and fine everywhere.
Do you want your 14-year-old to go out there and get it?
No.
Yeah. I mean, this is, I don't know anything about this drug, but
no, I see where you're going with it. I can see where having some rules to it, like there are with cigarettes and alcohol and stuff like that. I get that to help children. Children shouldn't be drinking at 10 years old. It's bad for their development and all this other stuff. I get that. I just think as an adult, who are you to tell me what to put in my body? I get that some people think that's shocking, but
no, I agree with that. I just when I don't think it should be banned, but at the same time, like I don't know enough about it to sit there and say, well, yeah, put it on the shelf, or hey, I can order this from Amazon.
Yeah, it made me good. I mean, I think where they left it is they're gonna do some. They want to pass a bill to do some research so they know what it is and how to regulate it. Basically,
yeah, that never works out.
Yeah,
I need to hear some legitimate people talking about this, not the industry.
Or a politician.
Or a politician. I strangely do listen to a lot of health stuff, from different physicians, from different athletes and doctors and stuff. And I haven't heard of this one, so I have zero opinion on it, which is strange because I do know a little bit more than the average person about supplements and things like that. I think I do, at least.
Yeah. You seem you're looking more for natural stuff all the time and, natural remedies for natural, but you know what I mean?
I don't know if it's natural. It's just, I do look for stuff that's not I would rather take, it seems like most things they don't really find a cure for. They just pump you full of drugs to
treat you
and not cure you. So I would rather find the problem rather than just put a Band-Aid on it or just to cover up the problem.
If you cure people, then they stop buying your drugs. That's kind of
exactly. So there's a lot of chronic, so-called chronic diseases that I think can be just, you maintain them. Yeah, I should say the doctors maintain them, but you can actually cure them yourself.
It's almost like a team effort, You ingest the crap. You ingest the crap to make you sick, and then you go to the doctor. They give you the pills to help you recover from being sick, and then you eat more stuff that makes you sick, and then you go to the doctor and get more pills. It's almost like a team effort.
They're all in cahoots. And, I mean, think about the just sugar.
Yep.
they're in cahoots with the pharmaceuticals for sure.
Dyes, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
One little point I'd like to bring up is if no one has seen the movie or at least clips from the movie Reefer Madness, I think that was from the 60s, maybe? Was it 50s?
Oh God, I think that's even earlier. Hang on a second, that's from like the 20s or 30s.
Yeah. That's about when they banned or put marijuana on the
1936
Schedule 1 narcotic. And this movie's insane. I mean, the way they portray, and this is kind of, this has happened before, and they portrayed people who smoke marijuana as, crazed maniacs.
Almost like PCP type of.
Yeah, they're basically cokeheads or PCP with, and I'm like, I saw this and I was like, wow, has anyone ever hung out with somebody who's smoking weed? They're definitely not crazed maniacs. You're more like, hey, wake up over there. Hey, pass over give me the Doritos.
Reefer Madness.
Stop eating all the Doritos.
Reefer Madness was made by the cotton industry.
Yes, that's right. I know
because cotton was going to be overtaken by hemp.
I think you like 100 times more yield or something crazy out of a hemp plant than you do.
And the clothing lasts forever from hemp.
Much more durable. Yep.
Much more durable. It's more comfortable. It's more comfortable in many ways. It's lighter. It's actually stronger, and I think it does a better job of wicking away sweat.
Yeah.
So when the cotton industry saw that coming, they started freaking people out and trying to combine hemp with reefer, marijuana,
yeah,
and
I think we figured it out then.
Yeah. So
big alcohol. It's big alcohol. They got the one captured, and this is directly competes with alcohol, so that's why he wants to ban it.
Yeah, and there's taxes on alcohol.
I mean, it's not a necessary. Well, and that maybe that's more of the avenue is, well, we have to tax this because it's taken away from it. If people switch from alcohol to kratom, how are we gonna fund our stadiums? The maintenance on our stadiums if everyone stops drinking alcohol.
Well, the alcohol industry is freaking out right now too because everybody's drinking less alcohol.
A lot less.
The young people. Yes. I think the Gen Xers and the Boomers are still, they're still pounding away. Even though they're getting older, they're probably drinking less. But I think millennials still do. But Gen Z and Gen Alpha are not going to be drinking.
And as the baby boomers got older, they were heavy drinkers. But as anybody gets older, you drink less. So as that huge population went away from drinking because they got older, that's a huge part of it, I imagine too. Yeah, no, you
have a good point. The alcohol industry could be pushing the wine here.
It could be. I mean, it's kind of tongue in cheek on it, but it's something to look. I mean, it's where you follow the money usually. Follow the money.
Yeah, the marijuana industry could be too. Just think about all the taxes they get from that, and it seems like I would say the younger generation or even Gen Xers want to if they're going to. I remember going to a concert and kind of getting a good buzz on before I went to the concert or before I went to some kind of show or event. And then, you maintain it at the event.
Yeah, you got to save money somehow.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's how you saved money because it was, you didn't want to pay $8 for a beer, or back then it was probably $5, and now we would be thrilled with that price.
Yeah.
But you wanted to do that, and now I think so many people are just kind of taking their gummy and enjoying the show without the alcohol, and they're just kind of.
Yeah, I imagine
that's how they're lubricating socially lubricating themselves, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. I think, you probably smell a lot less. Everybody's just, popping gummies or whatever else.
Yeah, like the last concert I went to, at St. Vincent, which was outdoors, which I smelled a little bit, but it wasn't crazy amount. And I was looking around, and the bar, they had a couple of stations with drinks being sold, but it wasn't overly busy, not like in the old days.
Good point. Yeah, definitely. People are definitely drinking less. And like you're saying, it's really just a shift in the in the culture, I think. Yeah. I think the kids don't see why, and a lot of them moving more towards marijuana. It's just easier, I guess.
And I don't blame them.
No, I mean it is poison, like literally. Like,
oh yeah, I mean
all
people
that stuff is. Yeah.
It's all poison. It's making doing something to your brain.
Yeah, and that was weird. This is where they said, "Oh, the side effects are dose dependent." I'm like, yeah, like every drug.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
every drug.
That was silly.
If you drink more alcohol, you have bigger side effects. Imagine that. All right, enough of that nonsense.
But can you drive on it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd imagine
they didn't really mention that. What part of alcohol? Like, what part of the alcohol high does it like kind of simulate? Is it the retard part, or is it like you're socially more
lubricated?
Yeah, that's the way I call it.
No, it is a good way to say it. I just like
you're just a little bit more free with your mouth.
I think he said alcohol, marijuana, or any other substance that's out there. It mimics. He says like alcohol, marijuana, or any other substance.
Well, alcohol and marijuana they're not the same, so that doesn't make sense either.
It gives you a high. It gives you buzz. What kind? I don't know.
Is it just an anxiety relief? Just so like, well, because I mean, don't most people have a drink when they're out, so it's easier to talk to people, right? So it's an anxiety thing.
Yes.
So is this the same thing?
Could be, and I would encourage our listeners to send us an email if you've ever tried Kratom. Oh man, what a segue that was. If you've ever tried Kratom, send us an email, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. Check out our website, crookedrivercast.com. Please share the show.
Actually, no, I want to try it.
I was thinking, that's what I was thinking. I need to try it. And then I saw what's next on the list. I got to make sure I mention that. I'm like, oh, what a segue. I could make a segue, Tom. I made a segue. Please share the show. We really appreciate you listening. We spend time during the week. We enjoy doing the show, and please send this out to other people if you know they're interested in it, and send us some feedback. If we get something wrong, we get something right, let us know. And if you need to know where else to follow us, check out crookedrivercast.com, and it tells you everywhere we're at, X and all those places. Next on our list of wonderful Ohio stories is a bill that, they want to try to save energy, Tom. And
Roy Klopfenstein, Stein or something like that.
Who's that? Oh yeah, that's sorry. How do I forget that name? Klopfenstein. Yes, Steen.
A Republican.
Republican in Ohio is introducing House Bill 427. What will House Bill 427? This is the headline from the Idea Stream. Ohio bill would let utilities reduce customers' thermostat and water heater usage. Let's see a little quick clip from Idea Stream on what this is all about.
An Ohio lawmaker wants to create an electricity peak demand program for small commercial and residential consumers. It could create financial incentives for participants. Under a peak demand program, utilities might raise a consumer's thermostat to reduce load on the hotter days of the year. As Ohio is staring down eventual electric shortages from growing demand and with new energy generation far off, Republican Representative Roy Klopfenstein says the bill is another tool in the state's toolbox.
If we want to attract more business to Ohio, if we want to have the data centers here, if we don't want rolling blackouts, we're going to have to look at a number of creative things. And this is one of them we know works because the commercials use it.
A similar energy efficiency effort died late last year. That bill would have enrolled all Ohio consumers in it, requiring them to opt out rather than opt in. Sarah Donaldson at the Ohio Public Radio State House News Bureau.
Another reason to listen to Crooked River Cast, because they originally tried to put a bill in that everybody would be automatically enrolled in this program unless you opted out. You slimy suckers, you.
Yeah.
I got an idea. I think I've solved the problem, Tom.
What's that?
If we're having problems with the energy grid, like, when it's 95 degrees outside.
Build more power plants?
Well, Tom, this is less of common sense This is a little bit deeper in depth than just this simple more power plants. Oh, like that's going to solve anything, Tom.
Windmills?
Yes, windmills and no. I'm thinking instead of turning down or turning up my thermostat to lower my energy usage, how about you turn off the data center? Just a thought. Are you going to reduce their power usage or just mine? They're the ones sucking it all out of here. Turn it off. That's just a thought.
Let's make people uncomfortable so the data centers can keep working.
Got to do something, Tom. They're turning up my thermostat. First, how are they going to do that?
Yeah, there's no way to do that. You would turn down the power.
You have to put in a new thermostat. You'd have to put in a different thermostat, and not everybody has. Most everybody in Ohio that I know of has a electric meter that connects to the internet, so they can check your usage without sending somebody by to look at it.
Yeah, but you can't change. Like, okay, so I turn off my. How are they going to connect to your house?
You have to put a thermostat in there. There has to be some other equipment that you would be leasing, I'm sure. It does not say.
I'm going to lease something that's going to turn up my thermostat?
Yeah. Let's see. It doesn't say. It doesn't say how they would do it.
Yeah, no, this is a BS bill. They're not going to do that. It would cost them more than it would make a difference.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm just skimming through the article again.
The only way I could see doing it is if you opt into something, and like let's say they will offer you a better price if you opt into this, green energy thing, and if you opt into it, they install a thermostat that they can control, and they did this in California, I believe, where they just automatically turned up everybody's thermostat when everybody was when it was 100 degrees outside, they're turning up everybody's thermostat that opted into that. But I don't think the people that didn't opt into it were affected. And the way they get everybody to opt in is just by offering you a discount on daily use. I guess
it's weird. It says a similar, and they mentioned this in the thing, but in a similar energy efficiency effort died last year. That bipartisan bill would have enrolled all Ohio consumers in it, requiring them to opt out rather than opt in. They would have been automatically enrolled and charged $1.50 monthly fee for discounts on energy effective appliances and electronics. So if you automatically enrolled, you'd be charged $1.50 per month, $1.50 fee for discounts. It says
you get charged $1.50 for discounts.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. It says they would have been automatically enrolled and charged $1.50 monthly fee for discounts on energy efficient appliances.
Okay, so you're being charged for a discount.
I don't know.
No. You know what? What are the discounts? They're not.
Are you charging other people so that you can give those people discounts? I don't know.
You could do better idea stream.
Yes. Say lobbied hard to kill the bill, and they killed the bill. It does not say how they would go ahead and
like how much are you saving on energy efficient appliances and electronics by paying $1.50 a monthly fee. Am I saving $5? So that means I'm only saving $3.50.
Do you add $1.50, and if I get energy efficient appliances, you take the $1.50 off? I don't know. Is that
who doesn't have energy efficient appliances at this point? Unless you got a refrigerator from 1960.
Yeah, but remember, Tom, they're taking away the Energy Star program. They cut it.
Oh, no!
How are we gonna know? Yeah, I don't think this is going anywhere. I think
shame on you, Funkelstein, or whatever your name is.
Klopfenstein. Klopfenstein. That's a hell of a name there.
I'm going to call him Flopfenstein.
Flop and flop. I like that. Clop and flop. I don't know.
Shame on you.
It'd be a show title in some places. Clop and flop. So yeah,
Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere.
It's not going to go anywhere, but they're trying. And this is not one of the ways to help us in our energy situation. It's not. Tell Facebook, tell Amazon to cut half their servers during the hot days, and we're good.
Or build some nuclear plants.
Yes, and that will help us in 15 years when they're done.
I mean, those data centers going to wait. I don't need the data center.
Yeah, the data centers. No, what they're actually doing is natural gas plants.
Data centers aren't going to be here anyways.
And there's some of them already here. So the ones that are already here are already hurting our energy grid, which are drawing too much from it, as we've talked about in the past, where you try to play your guitar amp and it won't turn on because it's 95
I was just about to bring it up because my power is back up to where it used to be.
Imagine
almost.
That, and
it's about 2 volts less.
And it's only that's because it's now 78 today, not 88.
Well, I haven't used my air conditioning for a week. Yeah. You know, I haven't used it. I mean, yeah, my power consumption is much less.
Yeah, and they just started building data centers. So what happens when they really get in full swing? So natural gas power plants are the way to go right now. They can get them up pretty quick, and they're doing them all. They're announcing more and more all over the state, and that's how they plan on. And I think in the budget they had a streamlined the permit process a little bit more to try to get it as soon as 45 or 90 days approval, so they can start breaking ground. And those are happening all over. I've come across a few of them. So
regardless, nuclear is the way to go.
Well, nuclear is the way. Yeah. And it's funny. I watched some sort of documentary on YouTube about why large projects always go over budget and over time. And one of the big ones they talked about was nuclear power plants. And one of the reasons is because we build so few of them around the world that there's really a lack of expertise on these massive projects. So they always go over time, over budget.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they're over-regulated. Well, they need to be regulated, but I'm sure there's way more bureaucracy to that than needed. Red tape, I should say.
Go out and look. If you're interested, if you say nuclear, oh my gosh, no way, it's so dangerous. Go look at what they're doing now with nuclear, because the Perry nuclear power plants, the 3 Mile Island, this big scare of the Fukushima. What was the other one? The one in Ukraine, Chernobyl.
Yeah.
So Chernobyl,
that was a corrupt government.
Well, it was a bad design and a corrupt government that would combined with the corrupt government. Yes, and yeah, they found the bad design, and because of the corrupt government, they kept reproducing it around the country. But my point is, all these plants were designed and used the same technology, whether it's Perry, whether it's 3 Mile Island, or Chernobyl, or Fukushima. They were all designed in the 50s and the 60s. They've come so far with technology nowadays with nuclear power plants. They've shrunk them down. They made them way safer. Fukushima was the largest one. That was worse than Chernobyl.
No, not even close. Nobody died from Fukushima except for the people that went in to clean up.
No, there's people around that got cancer and stuff. But you may be right. I don't know. Whatever. Most recent one, I should say. And also they're talking. They've been collecting all the water in Fukushima and storing in plants all the nuclear water they haven't let into the ocean. But I'm going to the design. So let me just finish this. Go to the design. Fukushima had the generators in the basement on a power plant that was on the ocean. That's a bad design.
That's a bad design, but overall it was a I think it was a bad design for the location. It was a very good nuclear plant. It was just they shouldn't have put it on the water like they did.
Well, most of them are though, right next to it.
Yeah, but I think the newer technology, they don't have to be.
Yes, that's where I was getting to. New technology doesn't rely on a generator to keep the water flowing.
Right.
It relies on the power plant. You literally have a power plant. Why do you need backup generators? So they've now designed them so that you don't need to have a generator running to keep water flowing to the reactor. That's always the problem. You lose power, you can't recycle the water, circulate the water, and it explodes. It overheats.
So here's the death count to Fukushima. I just wanted to clear this up because a lot of people have this wrong. There was no direct deaths from it. There were more deaths. The direct deaths were actually from the tsunami, and earthquake, and none from no direct deaths from radiation exposure. It's of the meltdown itself, and one attributed death to a worker in 2018 from lung cancer. That I remember Tim Poole talking about this because he knew her. She took him and what's the Polish guy's name? Luke.
Oh, Luke. Yeah, Luke Krakowski.
Yeah, they took him down into the plant. She took him down, and then she died in 2018.
And actually, the greater point to all this is if you look at deaths by sources of energy, and deaths for nuclear they can't even count them. They're so low. I mean, obviously they can, but when you compare it with coal or any other oil and all this other stuff, it's not even close. It's not even close. So it is the safest and cleanest energy that we can do.
Yeah, there's been terrible accidents. Nobody died at 3 Mile Island. That was contained pretty well.
Yeah, there was almost nothing let out. 3 Mile Island was a huge PR success.
That was a PR success for
environmental.
Well, for the environmental or for the energy companies, corporations.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So we need to get back to nuclear, and I mean, I think the leader of Greenpeace quit because they refused to embrace nuclear, and he's been on the past 10 years, been on a warpath to get nuclear back.
It's the safest, it's the cleanest. Yeah. They've figured out how to take all the nuclear waste and store it.
Yep.
And it doesn't take up a lot of, all you would really have to do I forget how thick the walls would have to be and stuff, but you would have to take the nuclear waste, put it in a building the size of a Walmart. It would just be a brick enclosure, probably in the middle of, somewhere where there's a lot of rock.
They tried to do this in Nevada.
Nevada? Yeah, I was thinking more like somewhere in Arkansas, and like we're around the.
Yeah, they picked Yucca Mountain.
Okay,
my father used to live there years ago in Vegas, so he was pretty familiar with it. But they picked it for the geological reasons, for whatever they were, and that project has been abandoned. I mean, there's huge holes and caves inside Yucca Mountain, but they're not putting anything there. That was all.
Well, I heard you could build basically a building the size of Walmart with 10-foot thick brick walls, basically, and store the stuff for like 100 years.
Yeah.
And then reuse it. You could get rid of the stuff, but
no, they've successfully scared the crap out of everybody in nuclear.
Yeah. It's totally doable, and it's the safest and most energy green, efficient energy out there. So
I say go nuclear, but anyway, they're this ain't going anywhere. And I mean, I just kind of got pissed when I found out they tried to opt us all into this last year. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a crap show. I mean, such a crap way to do it. It just makes me. It's what government does. Government does.
It's all crap, Rob.
All crap. Speaking of all crap, when you hear the words West Nile virus, how does that make you feel, Tom?
It doesn't make me feel anything.
Does it scare you? Because there's West Nile virus. Officials say 88 mosquitoes pools tested positive for West Nile virus in Portage County.
And there was one confirmed human case.
Yes, and
emergency.
Oh my gosh! So I was like, West Nile, what's the big deal? Like, what? This is something that has been around for a little while. You hear about it every once in a while.
They were spraying a while ago. I don't think they do that anymore.
I don't think they do. Yeah. And then I go pull up this article. It's from News WTAM News Radio, which it's 4 sentences. So, duh. But I guess they're a radio place, and not a news outlet. But it's very short. But I did pull a. Maybe I didn't. No, I didn't.
I don't think there was a clip.
No, there wasn't. I was looking at another. No, I did have a clip actually that I did not pull over, so that's okay though. The reason I was going to clip this was they brought up in the, because it was another news channel, I think channel 3, channel 19 maybe I was looking at, and yep, channel 3. They say, I think I could pull it from the article. So I was like, well, how concerned should we be about West Nile virus? Well, in the clip I pulled, it says, here it is. There are usually no symptoms for West Nile virus. Usually you feel a little ill. You get a little headache, a little backache, and maybe some sniffles. But majority of people are asymptomatic and don't even know they have it. But if you do get it, you may get a high-grade fever, back pain, body aches, and headaches and chills. So freak out, everybody! West Nile virus.
80% don't develop any. Yeah.
But how you can help just keep mosquitoes off you anyway, because they're annoying, is you can use something with, a bug repellent with DEET in it. Don't look up health effects from DEET. You're probably better off getting bit by a mosquito. But that is one of the things that also help, actually, side effect that also helps you keep ticks off you, which is probably way more of a threat than a mosquito.
Yeah.
Lyme disease and such. And then I also thought, well, what happens when we go around and like get rid of all the mosquitoes? There's something called food chain.
Yeah, bats.
Bats. I mean, a lot of larger.
You want bats.
Yeah, larger
birds
and everything else eat mosquitoes and stuff. So you start cutting the bottom of the food chain, you start hurting the rest of the food chain. So got to keep an eye on that. They say eliminate standing water. They're collecting mosquitoes, testing them, and trying to help residents get rid of the standing water and stuff like that. So freak out, everybody.
Dragonflies, damn cell flies. I never heard of that. Mosquito, hawks, and spiders, birds, fish, amphibians, frogs, tadpoles.
A lot of things.
Bats and turtles. I didn't think turtles would, but they do. Okay.
Yeah, how's that slow little turtle supposed to get
I think they got a pretty wicked tongue.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I don't even know.
That's what she said.
Right. Good one.
I'm hoping this next clip is the actual clip now that I messed that one. But next story. So everybody freak out, West Nile. Next story is the one that you sent over my way. So thank you for sending me this, because I remember reading this that was in the budget. I don't know how much we talked about it, but I do have a up and coming driver in the family. And in the last budget bill, they passed some new rules and regulations for new drivers. Anyone under 21 has to now, you are mandatory. It's mandatory for you to take driving class.
Yeah, it was 18 before. Now it's 21.
I was 18 and under before. So that's right. That's right.
So it just raised
this already. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Which I took I can't believe they don't offer that in school anymore. But because I just took it in high school, driver's class. But now you have to take it if you're under 21. Not before, it was if you turned 18, you could just take the test without taking a course.
Right. No, that's actually probably a good. Let's see what I pulled a clip. Let me see what it says. I'm not sure why I did, but let's see.
A new Ohio law that was passed back in June will go into effect in 1 month, making some changes for potential drivers and whether they have to take educational courses. 2 News reporter Evan Bales has more on what this law will mean.
18-year-olds who may have been considering getting their license by just taking the written test at the BMV will no longer have that option. Anyone trying to get their driver's license under the age of 21 will now have to fulfill the education requirements for obtaining their license.
The number one killer of young people, teenagers and young adults, are car crashes.
This was the rationale behind this provision of House Bill 96, set to go into effect at the end of September. In Ohio since 2020, 600 people have been killed in teen-related accidents, with 200,000 crashes being caused overall. That's a total of 14% of all crashes in Ohio.
Our basic goal is for saving young lives to prevent the tragedies that many of us have seen these families go through.
Driving schools are expecting an influx of new drivers. They and other driving schools are trying new methods to accommodate people's needs.
There's big driving learning. And so that covers a lot of these students that maybe live in outlying areas that don't have the transportation to get to our location, but they can still get the same instruction and still interact with the instructor.
Online courses.
Other people I spoke with have some mixed reactions to the new law.
People who are using their license to work. Delivery people, energetic, hardworking young people, I wouldn't want to discourage them. So there are exceptions.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fair. People should be always trying to, be safe on the road and try and get their driver's license, just out of utility. So I think it's fair.
This new law is set to go into effect on September 30th.
Somebody was like,
for more information, you can.
Sorry, I just wanted
somebody was like, we need 45 seconds on this. Put anything you can.
Let's put an old guy who made no sense and a young kid who made no sense. Because, you want people who use their license for work. Yeah. Okay. So they can't take take a damn class.
I think an 18-year-old shouldn't have to. I really don't. Yeah. I mean, I want them to. Trust me, I want them to, but I don't think they should have to. They're an adult. They're an adult. They might not. They might. Well, okay, but no, they are.
I know you're right. Legally, they are.
No, they are. We're babying these people too much. I mean, they could be out on their own with a family already, or started a family by accident, the way it should happen.
I don't disagree. Just how it's happening now is not that way because we're babying them.
Yeah, we're babying them. I mean, it's like. I'm guilty of this too. I'll be like, somebody will be like, oh yeah, I'm 28. I'm like, oh, you're still a baby. And they're not, they're adults. Right. They should have a family at this point in in a house. And we're treating them like children. When you're 18, you should be able to go get your license without taking the test. I don't think it's a good idea. I think if you want to be safe and if you want to know what you're doing, you should take the test. But, you shouldn't. Okay.
I don't disagree. I just don't know.
You know what? If you live at home, you have to take the test. Let's.
Yeah.
I just.
Not a bad idea, actually.
No, it's to me, it's like the gun law. You shouldn't have to wait till you're 21 to go buy a gun. What if you're a single mother living in an apartment and you want to protect your family?
Mm-hmm.
No, this is BS. This is us. I forget what the word is. I'm sorry, but
helicopter parenting.
Well, it's not even helicopter. It's keeping
it's a result of helicopter.
Yeah, it's a result of it. It's us keeping children for way longer than they ought to be. Pretty soon, it's going to be like, oh, 21 is not old enough. 24. Then it's it's ridiculous at this point.
Oh, good point. I do like that. Yeah.
When I was 18,
it's a parenting problem more than it is a.
Well, yeah. First of all, when they turn 16, you should have your child learning how to drive. Okay. Secondly, maybe they can't. Maybe it's maybe they're from a foster parents or from a
broken home or whatever.
Whatever. A single parent that can't afford a car, that doesn't have a car. Maybe they don't have a car. Maybe they take the bus everywhere. But okay, if you pass the test, you can drive. I mean, it's not perfect, but you're stepping on. I know driving is a privilege, but it's still you're making children babies you're making adults babies.
It's a good take. It's an interesting take. I like it.
No, it's the pussification of America.
But in meantime, kids are dying, Tom.
What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I was just being
They're
facetious.
killing people with their shitty driving, but
it is they are a high percentage of the wrecks. So I can see the concern. But
yeah,
it is government overreach. I do like that.
Actually, it's way over. Too much overreach. And it says teen-related accidents. There have been 600 people killed with teen-related accidents since 2020. Well, okay, but 18 and under, or 21 and under.
What is that? That's you said 600.
600 since so that's 100 a year. You know, I want it to be 0, but teen-related accidents. So you're at this point making 18-year-olds under 18. So are you worried about the 18, 19-year-olds, or are you worried? They're not telling you if these people took a test or took a class. Is it a bunch of 15-year-olds with, that just got their, I don't know, what is it?
Yeah, you could have got your license at 16, taking the test, and then got in an accident at 20.
Yeah, you're not telling me shit here.
Yeah, that's actually a really good one too. Yeah, we don't know. Well, 200,000 crashes overall. Yeah, we don't know. I mean, that doesn't mean a lot of these kids didn't have, or the young adults. A lot of them could have taken the test. I would say a lot of them did. I would imagine most of them got their license before 18. I would say the majority of them probably would.
I would think most kids do. I know the trend for. I think the trend's actually going back now to what it was like when we were younger. But I think the trend for a while was like kids just not caring to drive. But I think that's turning around. But kick these kids in the ass. Get them in a car. Get them to learn how to drive if you can. If you can, I mean, why are you going to stop a 18-year-old from getting their license? I mean, an 18-year-old that just had a baby, her parents kicked her out, or she just came out of foster care somehow. She needs a license. She needs a car to get to work. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, it's kind of what one of the guys said that. And his point was like, I don't.
He made it sound like they were truck drivers.
Well, he made it sound like they use it for. If you use it for work, then it's going to stop you from using it for work. I don't necessarily agree with it. It's going to be harder to get it. I think that's kind of what they're trying to do. So put some barriers in so that you can be educated before you start driving.
Well, okay, you got to take a test, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that test is a written test doesn't, for me, a written test does very little for.
I've never heard of anybody just taking a written test. Is that a thing?
No, you take a written test and then you take the driving test. But again, even the physical driving test is, it gives you a kind of an idea, but
I don't know. I know plenty of people that failed it.
Oh yeah. It's obviously failable, but I don't see that as a good. I don't think I haven't taken it in forever. I guess we'll see when my daughter takes it. But is that the end all be all to determining whether someone's a good driver or not? The simple test where you go down the street 4 blocks, turn around, and come back. That's kind of what I did.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I basically did too.
You go through the cones. You go through the cones.
The park. Yeah, the cone thing, the parking thing. Yeah. But I got points knocked off, which I learned from because I when I made a left, I cut the turn a little, which there was no traffic coming from the left side, but I did cut the corner and I didn't even realize I was just turning, and I see adults doing that all the time, and it still drives me crazy because I got points knocked off of that, and I avoid doing it now. I'm 50 years old, so what the hell? I'm almost 30 some years later. I still remember that. So I didn't learn that much from the driving school class that I took.
No,
not really. What do you learn?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can't see how you would learn more from I guess 10 minutes in the car with the tester, then you
but you have to get your temp first, and then you should have some I guess driving. Can an 18-year-old go get that without a temp? I don't know.
You have to start with temps.
Well, I don't know. Does an 18-year-old, or can they just go get their license?
I don't remember, actually. It's a good question. Yeah. I don't know. I thought you had to have. I don't know.
I thought you needed a few hours under your.
You might not be at 18. You might just be able to get just a license right off the bat.
But either way, it's government overreach in my opinion. I don't know.
I'm on the fence.
Driving isn't that freaking hard. I mean, maybe for some. I mean, there's some Asians out there. Man, have you noticed that?
It's usually just. Well, never mind. It's usually when I see somebody, it's probably as a female gender. But anyway, I
Asian female.
I think
the worst.
Bad. I feel as a car is deadlier than a firearm.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, not every case, but there are a lot more of them out there.
And a firearm is it's a right. It's not a privilege.
Right. Yes. And this is not one of those. It is a privilege. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I could see the advantage of.
You're on the fence because you have a child that's about to start driving.
Well, she was already going to take classes regardless.
Well, I understand that, but that's why, because you see what a 15-year-old is like.
Yeah, and they're not a whole lot different. I mean, I've seen a lot of 18-year-olds too. Not much.
Yeah, I don't know. 18-year-olds are. It is up to parenting, but
absolutely, yeah. And I think you're right on. You're spot on with the helicopter and the participation trophies. This is where we've come to, and the lack of is it a lack of the parents taking their kids out? I mean, that's like what you're saying. That's where you get most of your instruction is driving with your parents on the job training, is for lack of a better term.
You know, me taking the car out when I was 14 illegally with my parent in the car taught me more than when I was taking the class. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't supposed to do that, but whatever. My dad saw how much I wanted to drive, so he walked me through it. Driving is not fucking hard. Oh, sorry.
Well,
not hard. Just got to be mindful and be aware of what's around you and understand the traffic laws. And they're not that difficult to understand unless you're an Indian.
Unless you're an Indian immigrant who doesn't speak English and decides to do a U-turn on the freeway.
Yeah, with the semi.
With your semi, yes. Kill a family of 3. All right, well, it is the law now. It was in the budget.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, to our point is these big bills. I mean, all of a sudden, 3 months later, you start finding out all these things that are in it. And we kind of knew this was coming, but.
I don't have kids, and my kids would have, if I did have kids, they would definitely be driving because I'm not going to be their chauffeur forever. So, to me, it wouldn't have mattered too much, but I do think this is a bit of overreach.
I can see that for sure. And on that note, we come to
government sucks.
Come to the end of our crappy stories, and we move into our favorite segment, Good Things.
We bring good things to life.
What a way to go into that.
I know. We're chock full of good things today. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I start with, I guess, where the heck did that go? I start with Cuyahoga River, considering our show is aptly named in reference to the Cuyahoga River. The Cuyahoga River was just named on the National Water Trail status, recognized on the National Water Trail as a place to go. It's on the list now as a what do they consider it now? It's named a National Water Trail, I should say. That's what
it is. Fire safe now.
It is. It is safe from fire, at least for the time being. And they have there was a subclass of National Trail System, a 41 long stretch of the Cuyahoga River extending from Summit County to Lake Erie earned its designation from the U.S. Department of Interior in June. To talk about the transformation over the last 10 years or more. In case most people didn't know, Cuyahoga River has a troubled, polluted past, catching on fire. Most people remember the 1969, but it had caught on fire 13 times before 1969 fire.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And the 1969 fire, what did it do? It led to the creation of the EPA and the Clean Water Act. So guess whose fault it is? It's Ohio's fault. It's Ohio's fault. So EPA, I remember hearing about this when I watched documentaries and stuff on the Cuyahoga River burning, but there was on the cusp, and this was the final straw that pushed public sentiment to be in favor of the EPA and the Clean Water Act. They were pushing it, and this helped them over the finish line, as you say. So kudos on them. They're really changing, especially like down in the Flats area where it used to be very industrial. Below Tower City, if you're in Cleveland, there's a river down there, and there's a bunch of stuff down there. They're putting in, the Cavs started, I think, some of it at least. They're putting their training facilities, moving from Independence, Ohio, to downtown Cleveland, and they're making it so you can actually like kayak and stuff in it. Still might wear some protective gear, but I think we've had some stories where they put in more. Is it the Cuyahoga River? I think where they put in more like entryways so you can get your small boats and kayaks and stuff in the river.
Yeah, we did a story on that a short while ago.
So I mean, great. I'm not. We're making fun of it, but really not. It's a good thing. It needs to be clean. It should not burn. Rivers generally should not burn. And good for them. So check it out if that's your thing. Nature walks and that kind of stuff. They're doing all kinds of stuff down there.
I just clicked on the link, and it's really amazing. I mean, imagine how this river flows. I mean, we're called the Crookedrivercat, if you haven't figured it out. And it's named after we call ourselves after the Cuyahoga means crooked, right?
Yeah, so they say.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Yeah.
But just how it meanders through Ohio.
It runs north and south.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it goes down and back up, and dumps into Lake Erie. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, and it's come a long way, and a lot of work. EPA does do some good things. They're just they're usually at this point a little bit out of control in some cases. But here's a good thing.
Yeah.
So check it out if you're into kayaking stuff. Check out the Cuyahoga River, and if you got any feedback, send us an email. I'd like to know how dirty it is, how clean it is, I should say. Next on our list, I gotta check that off. Can't go any farther. Check. Okay. We will put this in the show notes and on the website, CrookedRivercast.com. Where to catch the best fall colors. A leaf peeping guide to Cleveland and beyond. So this is basically a lot of the good places you can go in the coming weeks to look at the fall foliage. And it's quickly creeping upon us. The leaves will be changing if they aren't already. I think they might already be. And
I think that the peak time it always depends on the weather.
First couple
but
weeks
it's like
October usually, isn't it?
It could be around the 20th of October or as early as like around the 10th.
Okay.
It just depends on the temperatures and how much rain and all that.
Yeah. I think the colder we end up being, the quicker it comes.
I believe so, but
about right.
But I think it has something to do with how much rain we're getting at the time. And
I've had a lot.
We like me and my wife usually like to take a Sunday ride and just go to one of these locations and enjoy the scenery. But and we seem to miss it every year. every like the peak, like once in a while we'll catch it, but most of the time it's hard to catch. So you really have to pay attention.
Yeah. I did.
The other thing is it's different here. If you're going to go to Southern Ohio, like drive towards the south, it's going to look different than it does up here.
Even 100 miles difference you'll see a huge difference in the color.
Yep.
Maybe more green, more colors, less colors. So they've got all kinds of places around here: Punderson State Park, Shaker Lakes, Nelson's Ledges, Mohican, and in some Rocky River and Cuyahoga Valley National Park, so on and so forth. So we'll put this link in there. You can check it out. And plan ahead, and that way when you see the leaves getting to that right color, you can jump right on it and know exactly where to go.
That's the other thing. If you're like into photography and you want to really capture a nice scene, it's your timing. You really have to be on the ready to get out there at its peak.
We did a trip years ago before we had kids to Blue Ridge Mountain Parkway in beginning October, and we hit it almost perfectly on the leaves. It was some of the most gorgeous scenery, and I'm sure it had nothing to do with all the wineries we stopped at. It had nothing to do with it. Because if you haven't known, Blue Ridge Mountain Parkway is pretty close to where Sonoma is, or Sedona. That's Sedona in California. We have all the wine. I believe sure it's Sedona.
No.
Sedona
is in Arizona.
That's there. So what's Sonoma Valley? What's the one in California where they have all the wineries? Anyway, they're all. If you look at they're all kind of in the same.
It's Napa Valley.
Napa Valley.
They do have a Sedona, I think, somewhere up north, or Sedona,
Sonoma.
That whole
they're trying to trick me.
From Napa Valley all the way up to freaking Washington is. Yeah. There's some great wineries out there.
But if I remember correctly, they had mentioned one of the reasons they have a lot of wineries in the Blue Ridge Mountain Parkway. It's in a similar location as far as climate wise.
Yeah, they got the ocean
France,
breezes.
And if you look at France, you come across the ocean and follow it through the United States. It's right in that same like longitudinal or latitude, whatever they call it.
Gotcha.
So it has a similar climate, so it's good for wine growing, and there's tons of wineries there you can go through. But yeah, beautiful. You drive through. Oh man, it was so gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a couple of nice. Speaking of photography, that's what it reminded me of. I actually printed a canvas.
Nice.
Of it. It's pretty nice. So check it out. We'll put that on the website. You like the fall colors? They're coming up. Next, I mean, maybe not my cup of tea, but I know some of us might. We're going to put a list up on the website. Link in the show notes, I should say, for the 8 plays and musicals to see this fall in Northeast Ohio regional theaters. So it's a list of all what's going to be coming up in. So they've got Cleveland Playhouse, they've got Weather Vane Playhouse, near West Side Theater, and all the plays and schedules they have for each play. I'm trying to see if there's anything. Sisters the musical is at the Camaru House. Is that how you?
Caramu
House.
I don't know.
You know, something. Yeah,
never been there. Never heard of it actually.
Sunday in the Park with George is at Great Lakes Theater.
Clegg Playhouse. Wow, never heard of Clegg.
There's a Clegg. Oh,
Westlake.
The Mousetrap. Yeah. Oh yeah, Clegg Playhouse. There it is. The Mousetrap. Andy Warhol in Iran. That's at Beck Center of Arts. That's in Lakewood. So
overrated.
We'll put this up on there if it's something interests you. Take a look, and they start probably looking at the next couple of weeks. All these fall season starts. September 11th was one. September 7th for the Cleveland Playhouse. So they're coming up this week. There's some of them are starting. So check it out. If something interests you, we'll put it up there for you. Last but definitely not least, Tom, you sent me 2025 fall festivals in Ohio.
Yeah, we're going to put up the link in our website. There's too many to go through, but you got all the Oktoberfests and
all over.
This is all throughout. It's starting from Ashland or Akron, going all the way to Worcester. So there's all kinds of festivals
Ashland,
going
Barberton, Berea, Brunswick, Cleveland. There's all Cuyahoga Falls, Eastlake, Kent, on and on and on. So most communities have one of these Oktoberfests or a Fall Fest, pumpkins and Oktoberfest, or what's the ale they call it? Yeah, Oktoberfest. That's it. Get your German beer and pumpkins. That's the key, I guess.
There's a Halloween drive-through in Kirtland.
Oh yeah, that looks cool.
Cool stuff.
And then, of course, the Halloween time's coming up.
Spooky Pooch Parade in Lakewood.
What's the cleanup like after that? Jeez, oh man.
That's got to be so gay.
I wish I had wait, I do. I do have it. Okay. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Wooster, geez, there's a ton of them. So check it out. We'll put it up in the show notes at crookedrivercast.com. And just one last thank you for listening. We really appreciate everybody. Share the show with your friends and family, please. That would really help us out. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We're everywhere. So check us out at crookedrivercast.com. Send us an email, crookedrivercast@gmail.com. And thank you for listening. Talk to you next week.
Peace.